And we're live. Awesome. So thanks everyone for coming to today's Node.js Community Committee meeting. We have a smaller agenda. I'm going to paste the actual GitHub issue in the Zoom chat. I also need to update the agenda on the doc. Give me one sec. But before we kind of get into the agenda, does anyone have updates around the initiatives?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, I have updates on the mentorship initiative. So we've started with the matching process, and we have 5 people at the moment matched and ready to start the first round of the mentorship, which is very exciting. And I'll be reporting what happens during the next meetings.
Awesome. Manil, I know you said you had something you wanted to share about in this space.
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Journey. I was waiting for all the initiatives to be done. This isn't necessarily an initiative, but anyway, this is.
That's totally fine.
I'll keep the announcement down to 2 minutes. First will be the announcement itself, then some context, and then I can answer as many questions as I can, and then note down anything that I need to take back. So the Collab Summit for fall attached to JS Interactive is happening in October. The announcement has gone out for a call for sessions, as well as, and that the announcement also includes an agenda, which right now is empty. So as part of the sessions, we will be having space and room for people to talk about anything related to the project. As far as examples go, last time at the Berlin Collab Summit, we had a meeting on diagnostics, a meeting on WebAssembly, a meeting on docs, promises, diversity, modules, streams, website redesign. I won't go through the whole thing. That was just part of the first day. But this time we're changing it up a bit. Last time there were 2 days. The first day was structured and the second day was unstructured. Based on feedback, it seems like people felt far more productive having a structured setup. And by structured, I mean people had proposed workshops and the workshops were scheduled ahead of time, as opposed to ad hoc on the day of. So both days now will be structured, and the call for sessions is 4 sessions for those 2 days. The days themselves are October 12th and October 13th. We're tacked on to the end of JS Interactive, which runs from, I believe, Wednesday to Friday, which is the 10th.
10th to 13th. No, that's the problem.
Right on. So that's it from my announcement. I can take questions.
Hey, this is Zibby from the Node.js Foundation. I have a quick question. So I know in years past I've heard, I haven't actually attended, but there's sometimes confusion that happens when folks are finished with the Code and Learn, and then Collaboration Summit happens about an hour afterwards, and whether or not they're invited or not. Has this been a point of discussion with this group, and kind of, are we going to do a different process going forward? Are these folks allowed? I'm asking out of curiosity, and I'm also asking because I'm planning to create some copies for the Collab Summit folks to look at, so I can put it on the JSI Interactive website. And I just want to get some clarity around that, just because I know that has been a point of, an issue in the past. So.
Thanks, Zibby. Yeah, this question probably should be discussed even more. It has come up, but I don't think we have any clear resolution on that. As far as I understand it, with attendance, anyone can come to the Collab Summit, but at the Collab Summit, things move pretty fast, and we won't be doing any explicit onboarding of people who may be new to the project. And right before that, during the Code and Learn is for everybody. It's open, I believe, for people to sign up and join as part of the registration process for JS Interactive. So I think anyone from there can come, but we may need to let them know that it won't be as guided, for example, as the Code and Learn was. The Code and Learn has an explicit mentorship component, whereas this one will not. Maybe Dan can add some context to this.
Yeah.
Trying to go ahead, Dan. Okay. I was going to say, so, over the past 2 collaborator summits, we've kind of been playing with this a bit. The last one at Node.js Interactive was a bit different because a few people just kind of ended up showing up, and now they're all committee members.
Right.
Adam, Manil, and a couple other people showed up too. Oh yeah, you were. Yep. I forgot. And then there was someone else who ended up showing up, but didn't actually end up, continuously engaging. So I think we've been able to see, direct benefit from actually having people who come and want to take the initiative and time to actually do that. So I really don't think we should try to exclude people. That said, being very explicit about it not being a, but I've tried to promote like 4 times and it hasn't worked. Being explicit about not being guided and being very focused on being task oriented is going to be important, and so we just have to message that clearly. That's my personal view. And if you disagree with me, please, that's okay.
I'm mildly.
Oh, and
sorry.
go ahead. I was just going to say, okay. I was going to say one last thing. And at the last one in Berlin, we actually we invited a bunch of people who aren't a part of the project. Lynn Clark is one example. She came and talked about WebAssembly. I believe there was a few people from the V8 team who that's obviously relevant context to them, but they're not technically part of the project. So we reaped benefits from doing that. So I just want to make sure that, we're considering how we can approach doing it without detracting from the work that we need to get done there and the value that we get out of it.
Sounds good. I think this was really good feedback. I'll make sure that I add it into my copy. And again, I'll share this copy with those that are working on Collab Summit so we can make sure we're all on the same page. I think also one thing that we might want to do too this year is just because our events team, just having them have that knowledge of anyone can join this, but things are going to be moving fast, those sorts of things. So when they get people coming up and asking questions, we'll have a nice, really solid answer for helping them, whether or not they want to come and participate and probably be more listeners, or if they're oh no, this is way too overwhelming, too much for me. So that's great. Thanks for that. And I'll be sure to put that in the copy and have it on the website. And then again, if I put this copy anywhere else too, I'll make sure that Collab folks look at it just so we're all on the same page and everything's really crystal clear, especially in that department.
Yeah, I was going to say there's also there's a lot of discussions and issues from the TSC, I think, that reiterates this same discussion and belief as well, that we should continue to welcome people to the Collab Summit. So I don't think you'll run into any trouble there, but yeah.
I just want to make sure we covered. Okay, yeah, Dan, you go. I wanted to make sure we got to you.
Sorry. So I just wanted to share that in full disclosure, when we were having our first organization meeting, we did not explicitly discuss this. So it was in that a bit of an oversight, drawing a bit more on the experience of Berlin, which was just the Collab Summit and not having the connection with the event. So we'll definitely bring that context in the curation of day one for Collab Summit at JS Interactive, and appreciate the Zibby, you highlighting that. One final thing, we are looking to finalize by the end of August. So if you're thinking about proposing a session, please don't leave it in until the last minute. We'd like to get your input on what you'd like to share, and then have a couple iterations of structuring and organization by the end of the month, so everyone can prepare for the sessions. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so we should time box this. Although, yeah, we have a shorter agenda. So does anyone else have anything to say on this? No? Okay, cool. So anyone else have other initiative updates? I know that wasn't really initiative, but are there other initiative updates that we'd like to share? No? Okay. So I am going to do another thing that is not an initiative update, and I'm going to throw Tracy Lee under the bus here. So one of the things that I ended up working on, and I think I talked about this in the last meeting or the last private session. I can't recall, but we are now going to have a space, and not we. I mean, by we, I mean the Node.js project. There's going to be a community corner, where the project is going to be able to have a space where we can go and have talks and do our own thing at JS Interactive. This is going to be during day 1 and day 2, I assume. I'm guessing that. I don't know because it's not been entirely planned out yet. But I did want to make sure to give Tracy Lee an opportunity to share a little bit of context around that and the state of it and how we can actually get people involved from the community committee and helping out and also sharing content.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Tony. So one thing is I will be talking to the TSC about this as well. I was talking to James Snell about it, and I asked him to invite me to a TSC meeting coming up so I can share with the TSC what's going on as well. But yes, we will have our own Node community corner, and we will be able to program it the way we want. I'm still figuring out all the different logistics in terms of, audio setup and everything we'll have. And I'll work with everybody in ComCom to figure out what the best way to actually program that is. Whether you all have ideas of maybe what's missing in the JSI, programming, specifically related to Node at all. And I'm hoping at somewhere we will also be able to post it to hopefully drive more Node folks and show them that hey, there is a community corner. So Tierney and I were initially discussing that maybe it's 30-minute segments for different people to talk about different things, whether it's panels or specific talks about specific initiatives, et cetera. Did I cover everything, Tierney? Oh, and then just programming fun stuff too. So I'm trying to get, anyways, I have some ideas. I don't want to share them until somebody actually sponsors it, but we'll see. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, that covered most everything that on the organization side. I do want to make sure that the ComCom members are engaged with this and feel welcome to share their projects, what they're working on, and propose space. Know that you have a space to share the work that you've been doing in the community committee as a part of the JS Interactive schedule. So
yeah, and
that was
I think we're also leaning on. I'm going to lean on you guys to help again with the programming. So Node Summit was pretty busy for us this week, but that's a project that's starting next week. And also have been working on the Node store. So we're almost there. Going to set up a meeting with Tracy and William to talk about the different swag, and then we'll be presenting it to ComCom shortly after that. But trying to get all the budget and everything like that settled and make sure we have some good stuff.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Tracy.
You're welcome.
Okay. So anyone else have anything they'd like to share that's not necessarily on the agenda?
I just want to say about this, since we're doing the mentorship initiative, I would love to have some space, it would be awesome to talk about mentorship, hopefully get more folks to help us with mentoring. So that would be great.
Awesome. Sounds good. Tracy, do you think you'd be able, Tracy Lee, do you think you'd be able to help connect with Ahmed on that?
Oh, yeah. Hey, Ahmed. Yes. No, absolutely. I'm going to paste my email in chat so you can email me whenever and things like that. But I actually did hear some great things. Some people who are participating in the mentorship program are waiting for it to start at Node Summit, and everybody seems really excited about it. So thank you, Ahmed and Dan. I think you two are leading that. So yeah, they're like, ooh, I can't wait to get involved. And there's this mentorship program, and they're super.
Yeah, we're getting really good feedback, which is amazing, and it keeps us going. But the thing is, we need more mentors from the Node team. So yeah, we really need your help, guys.
Hey, and
that's probably a good session for the collaborative summit. Sorry, Zibby, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, go ahead. I was going to say and I can kind of wait for this, but one other thing that we are doing for JS Interactive that we haven't done in years past is we're going to do like a speed mentoring session at the conference. So we've done this for a few Linux Foundation conferences, mainly KubeCon. It was really, really helpful. So essentially how it's laid out is you have people that are mentors, and then you have people that are mentees, and they're matched and paired. So they can talk about how to be a part of the community, like the discussions can be around being a part of the community, or the discussions can be around like careers in open source. So that could be also like a nice funnel too for you if there are people that are interested in doing more kind of Node.js mentorship centric stuff that could also kind of fold into the larger mentorship initiative that the Node.js project has. So just kind of throwing that out there too as like another maybe complement to that program if those folks are interested in doing Node mentoring but maybe aren't in our usual circle of folks.
Interesting. Thank you for that. Do you think do you have an issue for that, or do you think it's a good idea to open an issue to just see like who's gonna help out with that? Maybe I can reach out to them or something, or do you think I should just wait for the...
Yeah, so what I'm doing right now with that is we're getting kind of our copy ready, how the program will be organized, and then also our Google Forms around that. So once I have that, I'll probably share with you in case you want to be interested in looking at it, or if you want to get mentors that you already have involved with that. But for now, it's going to be formatted really similar to what we've done with other Linux Foundation events because it's just done really, really well that way. But once I have those things, I'll probably share it with you so you know like what's going on and when we start promoting stuff. If we get folks that are interested in like Node.js specific community stuff, I can always say if they're interested in learning more about mentorship, like this is a mentoring program that Node.js has going on. So I don't know if that answered your question, but I think we'll probably be in contact have a few points of contact that we'll probably want to sync on. But for right now, we're just kind of laying down like the questions that we'll ask mentors, mentees, and just like the copy and organizing it still. So it's still a little bit in development mode. And then once it's a little out of development mode, I can share it with you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and seconding what Akab was saying, I think that creating an issue in the mentorship repo is a great way for us to make sure we prioritize and get that covered in the meeting. Thank you, Zibby.
Okay, awesome. I'll do that.
Great. So, anything else we need to discuss that's not on the agenda? No? Okay. So moving along to the first agenda item, it is first pass at partner communities.md, issue 352 in the ComCom repo. Let's see here. Everyone copies and pastes it from the doc at once. I put it in the Zoom issue or Zoom chat. So right now this looks like there's consensus. It's 2 LGTMs. It's been open for 72 hours. So we can merge this. Are there, I went through and answered V. Carl's question around what level of access does the administrator entail? I tried to do that at the bottom there. yeah, and then Gary asked 2 questions around what is there a definition for a partner community? My intent was to define that in this, and I thought I did, although I guess there's not. So I'll go in and PR, or update that PR with the actual definition of what a partner community is. And then Gary also asked about if Node.js Africa can be considered a partner community. I'd like to merge this document before we go down the path of adding more partner communities, just to have a separation of concerns, and then we can go in and address different partner communities. Oh, poor Adam, he's been attendee for a long time. So yeah, let's merge the document before we go down the path of adding additional partner communities, just to make sure we actually have a definition and agree on what partner communities are. So yeah, I would very much appreciate any further review and approval, or requests for changes or requests for additions. Definitely hugely appreciated. This was like like the PR says, it's a first pass. So this is definitely planned to be iterative and not the de facto this will never change. Just trying to get this down as a community project, and is a something we're kind of going down the path of enabling. Any comments on that? Or any questions about the goals or intents of that? Cool. So yeah, I'll leave that open for another couple days, and then I will go and merge it if there's been no requests for changes or anything like that. Cool. Next issue or item on the agenda is the other open PR I had around creating onboarding. Let me see if I can open that up. There, pasted. Oh, that is not right. There is a 4.2 at the end. That's the correct link. I pasted it in Zoom, the Zoom chat. Opening it up. Yeah, so this is just creating the documentation for onboarding new members. Gary did ask a question around should the process around becoming a member actually be added to this document? And my thought is no, because that belongs in other documentation, and duplicating that isn't helpful. It actually creates a maintenance burden around having to maintain that in multiple places. And this is also the specific intent of this document is to actually make sure that we know what to do when we're onboarding a new member, and not necessarily how to get a new member. So this has been open for almost a month now. Hold on one sec. Sorry. Sorry, the hotel staff was trying to start servicing my room. So yeah, it doesn't seem like there's any negatives on this. Medill also did some commits on it, which I appreciate greatly. Tracy, do you have, Heinz, do you have any, I know you commented like the day after, or the day that I created it. I think Medill went through and addressed what you were commenting on, although I don't think administrative or Node.js project practices for interacting with administrative duties related to our work was included. Yeah, I'd like to get your feedback, Tracy, on how we can actually go through and do that, but you don't have to speak right now because I know you're losing your voice.
What's the issue number again?
342. It's a PR. I pasted it in the Zoom chat.
Sorry, I was pull request. Okay.
No worries. Yeah, so this is just the onboarding doc around, and I want to make sure I do address your things because I agree that you were correct on both 1 and 2 of what you suggested.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go back through that now. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay, cool. So yeah, getting feedback on that. If anyone else has additional feedback, I'd love to merge that. Beyond that, I think we're good on that issue. Okay. Anyone else have anything they'd like to say on that? Dan, can you update us on the public user feedback request for promises? It does look like there's been a recent activity on that. I'm not sure. I know you've been busy last week, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much new context since our last meeting about that. Awareness, there's activity, and we're still looking for input on anything. This is going to net out as a survey. So if there's anything promise related or adjacent that you want user feedback on, now is a good time to plug in before we formalize that into to feedback.
Cool. And by you, I assume you mean any people in the community who are interested in promises.
Right, or anybody in like if the website redesign working group wants to share context around how the new website redesign is using promises, great. Like that's a good way to sort of introduce folks to someone else in our circle that is working through problems like that.
Cool.
And we can probably remove that one from the agenda. The label can be removed now.
Yeah. I wasn't sure because there was like access in the last 20 hours, so I just left it on just in case.
Yep.
Cool. With that, we've exhausted our agenda. So I know we did have both Dan and Adam join late. Is there updates from user feedback or like general update for user feedback or from the website redesign initiative work that either of you would like to share? I just want to make sure we capture that if there is.
Yeah, I'm happy to share some context there. So we had a general user feedback session, and it's really interesting to see how a specific or niche topic really draws attention, and how a general sort of open share whatever you want folks struggle with. Just not anchored in something that is drawing much attention. So as we've done things like enterprise and tooling and these other specific things, we all we wanted to keep space open for general feedback. And we're after this last session, we're reconsidering that, and wondering how best to sort of keep that open general feedback, if that's a constructive tool, or if we just work with folks that are coming to user feedback and bringing specific topics which they'll create issues around, and then building topics around that, discussion points around those specific topics as we build consensus.
Awesome. I can give some context around website redesign. We're continuing to forge ahead with our design phase and content creation phase, and had some great conversations in the last meeting about how we're structuring the getting started content and how we're gonna start moving forward to continue engaging folks to create the first round of content for us. We also specifically at Node Summit, I had some awesome conversations with people in the community here in the Bay Area that I'm hoping to work with to also get to contribute back, specifically the San Francisco branch of Node School. And some other folks who seemed excited. So I'm going to keep those contacts warm. Just charging forward with it.
Awesome. Cool. With that, I think we can close up the meeting a little bit early, about 25 minutes. So thanks everyone for coming, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Do we have private session?